This is the part where we take a little rest and I pretend to not be breathing heavy. Take two. We are at Abraham Cove. Michaela, Aiden, and I are going backpacking tomorrow. And we thought instead of driving for 4 hours and then hiking for 4 hours and making a horrible day, we would just come out here today, sleep overnight. We got camp set up behind us here. And we just got a fire going. And we're gonna have hot dogs and then just chill for the evening and get up early tomorrow and head out to the trail for probably 11 o'clock. And that's the plan. Wouldn't be camping in Alberta if it didn't pour. I'm being laughed at because I'm filming myself drinking coffee. It is, what time is it? I don't know, 7:47. It was a chilly night last night in the campground, but we are going to break camp. Where's the dog? There's the big dog. And maybe have a pancake or two, and then head our way to the trail. We'll give it one more shot. If it's too cold tonight, we're only staying the one more night, right? Right. Okay, here we are. Kinglet Lake and Tough Puff Ridge trailhead. We go up here a few kilometers and then it splits off. You go one way to Tough Puff and the other way to Kinglet, and we are going Kinglet. We are loaded for bear. We are set up for 2 days. Last night was really chilly. The kids were cold. I was even cold in the camper at one point. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes when we get up there. If it's too cold tonight, we'll only stay the one night. We'll just walk out over the ridge and then come back out tomorrow. But the plan is for 2 days. So we're about 10 minutes or so up the trail. This is a nice trail. Just got our first reply to the text I sent to everybody on the inReach. That's pretty cool. It works. But away we go. This is the part where we take a little rest and I pretend to not be breathing heavy. Right ahead of us here is the first really steep section. I'm comparing this to Allstones, Michaela? And compared to Allstones, which is the worst hike for steepness I've done, this has been not too bad. But the section up ahead of us is definitely looking like Allstones-esque, but we're just taking our time. Just taking a little break on the steeper spot. Look at this wide open view of the valley. Beautiful. Still lots of snow up in the peaks. I hope there's none up where we're headed. That'll really cool it off. We've been going for a little over an hour, taking little breaks here and there. We got passed by a couple who were going up to do some fishing at the lake. But look at this view. This is why we do these ones. Hardly any people, and look at that view. I'm officially tired. We're about a third of the way, I'm gonna say, to the lake. But there's quite a steep part here. And then we're almost done. This little push behind me, and it kind of levels out through kind of a meadow. And we go past the sign where it splits off between Kinglet and Tough Puff. And I think we're maybe another kilometer after that, we come to the creek where we're going to stop to eat. And that is where she starts getting steep again, right up to the lake. But don't really care how long it takes us to get up here because we're not just going up and back. We're going up, we're going to set up camp, we're going to pig out, and then we're going to relax. Maybe go in the lake. Maybe go in the lake first. Here we are. We made it to the top of the first really tough spot. Look at this view. Man. A couple of kids that are feeling it. Don't dare tell them I'm feeling it too. My butt cheeks are screaming. How you doing, Bren? How you doing? Thirsty? There it is. The signpost where the trail splits. Here we are. We're at the signpost. Tough puff off to the right, follows the trail here, all the way up in the back up to the ridge up there. Kinglet Lake, go off to the left, and we get to go down a little bit, and then we go up and we'll make it down to the creek. We're gonna stop at the creek for lunch, a snack, and from there it's quite a slog up the hill to the lake. But once we're there for at least the night, possibly two, hopefully two. We'll see how it goes tonight. Feel great. You tired? Sore? How's your butt cheeks? Mine are killing me. Tight. This is where we're having our lunch break. And refilling water. Your face is muddy, Bren. Why is your face all muddy? We're back underway after our lunch break. And we have a lot of up to get to the lake. But we're full of trail mix and freeze-dried ice cream and creek water. We'll make it. Okay. All right, we are almost to the lake, like minutes away. And we came into a section where we turn towards the ridge. And I want you to see this. Can you see that? I'm gonna flip the camera around. Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. That's why we do this crap. All right, almost to the lake. Here's the sign to the privies. Aiden has gone to check them out. We'll give him some privacy. There it is. The post. We have made it. This was brutal, but it was worth it. Here we are, all set up. Got me over here, Michaela, and then Aiden's on the other side of Michaela. There is a fire pit here, but we're definitely not having a fire here because it's too close to all our tents, considering that Aiden steps out of the tent into the fire pit. But we are not too bad for slopes. I think I'll be okay. Just down the path behind Aiden is the fire pit we're going to eat at right away. And then around the corner from it is some bear bins, which was nice. We don't have to find a tree to try and hang stuff in because the trees around here are weird. So, there we go. We're going to go down to the water, get a bunch of water. So, it's 5:30. We have finished supper and dessert, and we all feel like Bren. Just want to lay down and go to sleep. What a good hiking dog. We had our supper, the bow tie pasta that we've shown how we made that on our channel, on one of our other videos on the freeze-dry stuff. So we ate that, and we had some watermelon pudding, which we also showed how that came out. It was delicious, wasn't it? Aiden, what did you think of that pudding? Yeah, it was really good. And that's not just the tired from the trail talking. Sorry for the shadows underneath my eyes, it's sunny up here. The bow tie pasta came rehydrated, fantastic. It tasted just like it does when we make it at home. It was delicious. Tomorrow we have scrambled eggs for breakfast and chicken noodle for supper, and probably a whole lot of beef jerky for lunch. I forgot to bring jelly beans up the hill, so we don't have jelly beans, so oh well, guess we don't need them. Right now it's too early to go to bed. It's too hot in the tent. It's very windy, so if you're getting a lot of wind noise, I apologize for the wind noise, but I can't make it stop. I tried, but it didn't work. So I'm just catching some rays, and I think we might make it to 8 o'clock. Yeah. we're all tired, and we're at quite a bit higher of an altitude than we're used to, so we might sleep really well. I hope it doesn't get too cold. There's still snow in and around the campground here. There's still some snow on the ground, not a lot, but the hills up behind us, the peaks all have snow in them, so we'll see what it's like. It's 6:30 in the evening. We are all very, very worn out. We've all retired to our tents to kind of get out of the sun. It is very sunny out up here. It's quite hot. Michaela and I both have sunburns. I don't know if you can see. Well, you can't really see it, but I feel it already. It'll probably keep us warm tonight, that's for sure. I got Brennan here with me. She's already decided to pick a spot between me and the wall, as per usual. But yeah, it's a pretty good evening. It was a hard hike. This was a hard hike. But we're just gonna kick around here, maybe walk around the lake, maybe play in the lake for a bit, let Bren run around, and just have a good old time, and then I think we'll come out Wednesday morning.
That was a cold, windy night. The wind never let up all night. So, you know, it's almost 9 o'clock. We slept in. Yeah. But Brent and I came for a little walk because I knew there was one out here, and there it is. There's a pit toilet up here. Bit of a walk to find it, but there's a path that's marked. If you're ever up here, follow the red flags. Take you right to it. Anyway, I'm gonna go make a coffee.
This is Kinglet Lake. We are camped up in behind there. Beautiful green, turquoisey, greeny color. And as you can see, we're not alone. There's several campsites being taken up here today. We're going on a nature walk, just because. We had breakfast, scrambled eggs, beef jerky, and now we're just going to have a walk around the lake rather than going up the Tough Puff, because I don't think any of us are feeling that today. No, this way. Come on, Brent. That's the trail up the Tough Puff there, and it looks like a hard scramble. We've had enough hard scrambling for today, for the week. So from our vantage point across over there, we spotted this little creek, and we're going to see where it comes in, where it comes down. Bren is in her happy place running up the creek. Come on, Bren. Come on. Getting louder, getting harder to walk through. I'm guessing it's just coming out from underneath the rocks. Oh. We're about to find out. Oh, very deep here, very wet, very gross. Go around some trees, and oh, how cool is this? There's a pipe where they're helping it come down. That's cool. We've had another relaxing afternoon. I'm catching some rays as the sun comes and goes. Maybe a sunburn will keep me a little warmer tonight. We did decide to stay another night, and we are having a good time up here. A little bit of sleep issues is not that big of a deal. You're out backpacking, you're not going to have a good sleep like you would at home. So I mean, you wake up, you got pressure points from, you know, the mattress that's not thick enough, and you got a cold spot from where the sleeping bag wasn't warm enough. I've noticed with my sleeping bag that it's not quite big enough for me. I'm a little too wide across the chest, a little too broad in the shoulders, and when I put my arms in it, it pulls the sleeping bag right tight and it squashes it, so now there's no insulating effect at all, and I've noticed that my arms were cold. That was the worst part, so I had to try and figure that out. I'll get a new one. But we're gonna relax a little bit and then have supper. Alright, it's supper time. Warming up some water for, hold that up, Michaela. Today we have Christina's grandma's chicken noodle. And no, you can't have the recipe. And if you look back on our videos, you will see her freeze drying. I realize I didn't show my setup inside. So here, this is the front door behind me. And here we have Big Dog on the twin pad because that's the only one we have that I could use. And my sleeping bag that is too narrow, which might work. We have two the same. We actually have three the same. Christina and I will stick one together. Stick two together when we go together, so that might work out all right. And tonight I'm using my backpack as a pillow support. Because last night, one of my biggest problems besides being a little chilly was the fact that I had no support for my head. I tried using my clothes bag, which wasn't full enough. I grabbed the tent bag that's got all the little bags in it. I threw that under there too, and it kept moving. So excuse all the husky fur, but if you have a husky, you understand. It is the spice of life. Anyway, it's bedtime. It is 20 to 9 Wednesday morning. We are just packing up. None of us really eats breakfast, so we're gonna snack on the trail. Everything's almost done. Everything will have to come out when we get home. It's all wet and dirty. Rained quite a bit last night, eh, Michaela? So I've been hanging the flies in the tree there, getting everything all packed up. Big Dog slept really good. I think it was colder last night, eh? But not unbearable. We have us a bluebird day. It is going to be a hot one when we get to that second half on the way down. There is a little breeze kicking up, so that'll help. We're just going to finish packing up, get some water, and off we go. And with that, we are done at Kinglet Lake. And now we're heading down. We're going to take it easy, probably take us a few hours to get back out. Jump in the truck, and we're off. Back on the trail. Got some nice breeze kicking up. Should keep us cooler on the way down. We are taking our time coming down this section. This is quite treacherous. It is really steep. It's all about making sure of your footing, not stepping on your heel, because boy, the foot goes out real fast. So I'm just holding on to a tree. I don't know if you can see how steep that is behind me. Michaela and Aiden are still working their way down. We still have quite a bit to go from here down to the creek. This is the worst part of this trail. It's quite a workout. Let's just call it that. A little view from our little vantage point. And down. It's at about a 35-degree angle. We're almost down to the creek now, which was our main concern because it's very steep from the camp, from the lake down to the creek is very steep. So we took our time. Still took us a fraction of the time it took us to get up. But we have this little flat spot here, and then we have one more big steep push down, and then we're at the creek where we're going to stop for a snack. So we are back in the meadow from the creek. Actually, just peeking up over the rise here is the sign to split between Kinglet and Tough Puff. So we might stop there and have a drink because it's downhill from here. Not as bad as where it was from the lake to the creek, but it'll still be hard on the legs. Look at that view. We're down to the last kilometer and a half. It's all down, but not as bad as the down at the top. And there it is. Back to the highway. And right through the trees there is my truck with the camper on it. We're gonna try and get down to the water and soak our feet. It'll feel great. Hey, come on.